Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
The Conservative Party says it will expel anyone who casts more than one vote in the contest to choose the next leader and the country's Prime Minister. A BBC investigation has found that some members have received 2 ballot papers in the post. Around 160,000 people are eligible to vote in the leadership election, which will see either Boris Johnson or Jeremy Hunt take over from Theresa May. Manveen Rana reports.
As the leadership rivals arrived in Nottingham today to face the party faithful, it emerged errors had led to some members being issued with 2 ballot papers. But for the contenders, it was business as usual.
Get it right, and we will deliver Brexit, unite our party, unleash the incredible potential of our country.
We need to get Brexit done. We need to get it over the line by October the 31st.
Voting has already begun, and one party insider said at least 1,000 people might have received an extra vote. Some were registered in several local associations. Others were women who received separate ballot papers in their maiden name and their married name.
Pretty certain the chairman of the Conservative Party has already been asked to look carefully at how they sift. So obviously there's an issue here, I accept that, but rather than to get bogged down into process, the truth is that even in a general election, people are registered in different areas.
The process has been flawed. I've seen separate sets of ballot papers sent to the same person at the same address, but neither the Conservative Party nor the independent body they've hired to scrutinise the election were able to tell us how many ballots were sent out in error. But they're adamant that it doesn't damage the legitimacy of the vote.
Well, it's made very clear on the ballot paper that you're only allowed to vote once. And I expect Conservative members to follow that. You rightly point out that if people have joined 2 associations, they may get 2 ballot papers. I get 2 ballot papers in elections because I'm on 2 different sets of electoral registers. It doesn't mean that I vote twice. I don't.
Electoral law doesn't apply. If people are caught voting twice, they face expulsion from the party rather than a criminal conviction. The Conservative Party's own internal rules will decide if the vote for the next Prime Minister is a fair and legitimate vote. And for the members, like those in Nottingham, they have until July the 22nd to decide. Manveen Rana, BBC News.
The former head of British intelligence has told the BBC that the UK is going through a political nervous breakdown. Sir John Sawes has said he's deeply concerned about the calibre of politicians in the UK as the country prepares to leave the European Union, criticising both the Conservative Party and Labour.
So Boris Johnson could well be on track to become the next Prime Minister if the latest poll is to be believed, as Tory party members began receiving their ballot papers for the leadership race. As both candidates spoke at another Conservative hustings in Nottingham today, Mr Johnson's rival, Jeremy Hunt, urged activists to wait until after the 2 televised leadership debates before making their decision. Paul McNamara reports.
For the men who want to run the nation, this is a crucial weekend. Both are traversing the country.
Thank you all for coming on this wonderful Saturday morning to Nottingham.
It is fantastic to be in Scotland,
in the northeast,
Darlington,
trying to get their message and their faces in front of as many party members as possible, as all postal votes have now been sent out. This should be the time the race is won or lost, but one poll out today suggests the result has already been decided. According to a poll of Conservative members by YouGov, Boris Johnson has the backing of 74% of the party. But last night he went north of the border and faced his toughest crowd of any hustings yet.
We've been trying for nearly 3 years to achieve this. What makes you think that you can do it in 3 months, and Goodwill and things like that there and Bluster won't achieve it? We all want to leave, but 3 months is not feasible.
Do you think he can do it?
I don't think anyone can do it in 3 months, even with the best of intentions.
There is no reason why we should not come out on October the 31st, rather than any future. There's nothing further we have to get ready by October, by November, the end of November or Christmas or whenever. They're simply untrue. We can be as ready as we can possibly be by October the 31st to come out on WTO terms.
There are just under 10,000 Tory party members in Scotland. His popularity among them is lower than elsewhere. Their keenness to ask difficult questions is higher.
Does a good Prime Minister need to be a loyal husband and father?
I've been asked all sorts of questions the last 20, 30 years, and I just don't comment on that stuff, if that's all right, because I think what the people in this country want to hear is what my plans are to get Brexit over the line, what I'm going to do to unite our country.
If you choose not to comment on it, then you're just going to have to let us doubtful voters come to our own conclusion, and it may not be a favourable one, I'm afraid.
Then I'm going to have to live with that.
At almost 50 points behind in the opinion polls, Jeremy Hunt has urged supporters to wait until they see him head-to-head with Mr Johnson in debate on Tuesday before voting. In Nottingham today, he told supporters what he believes is at stake.
If we have an election before we've delivered Brexit, it doesn't matter who our leader is, we will be toast. And that is the simple fact of the matter. If you look at what happened in the Peterborough by-election, the local elections, the European elections, will get squeezed by the Brexit Party on the right, the Lib Dems on the left. Who's going to come through the middle? It's the Labour Party.
It's believed the majority of votes will be cast in this race over the coming days. Whoever the winner is, warned Jeremy Hunt, get Brexit wrong and the Conservatives could be out of power for a generation.
Paul McNamara reporting there.